Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled at the base of a mountain, there lived a young man infamous for his laziness. He would spend his days dozing in the shade of a tree, while the other villagers labored diligently in the fields and workshops. One day, a wise old monk came to the village and beckoned the young man to approach. "My son," the monk said, "I have a task for you. I want you to ascend to the peak of that mountain and retrieve a single feather from its highest point." The young man laughed dismissively. "That's impossible. I'm far too lazy to make that climb." The monk smiled knowingly. "Ah, but the feather you seek is not on the mountain itself. It lies on the far side, in a cave that can only be accessed by first reaching the summit." Intrigued by this challenge, the young man decided to accept it. As he began his ascent, he found the journey both arduous and thrilling. Upon reaching the top, he experienced a sense of accomplishment he had never felt before. But the real test was still ahead, descending the mountain. The way down proved to be even more difficult, yet he pressed on, motivated by the thought of the feather. When he finally discovered it, shimmering in the cave, he was captivated. But then he faced a new dilemma. How would he return to the monk? For a brief moment, he contemplated giving up, but then he recalled the pride he felt at the peak. With renewed determination, he began the climb back up, his muscles aching but his spirit unwavering. When he finally reached the monk and presented the feather, he was out of breath but triumphant. "Well done, my son," the monk said. "You have learned an essential lesson today. Laziness is not something to be accepted. It is a challenge to be conquered." The young man understood the monk's wisdom. He realized he had always possessed the potential for greatness, but his laziness had held him back. Now he recognized that he could overcome any challenge in his way. The monk's lesson teaches us that laziness can be transformed into motivation. By pushing ourselves, we uncover strengths we never knew existed. To combat laziness, we must set ambitious goals, challenge ourselves, and develop discipline. Adopting a growth mindset allows us to view obstacles as opportunities for growth, rather than excuses to give up. Ultimately, overcoming laziness requires a willingness to step outside our comfort zones and embrace the challenges that await us. Thus, the young man returned to the village, forever changed, ready to embrace life's adventures and challenges.